Hello, Facebook. How's it going? Happy Tuesday? It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm Alex Price. I'm the artistic director of the 574 Theater Company. We are here live at our 5th episode of House Party with 574 Theater. So glad to be back this evening, and I'm very excited for our guest, Nick Rogers, who will be coming on the screen here in just a little bit. I wanted to go through a couple things as we're still in the middle of this global pandemic. I think I've loved lately everybody's support for each other on social media and reaching out to each other and really taking care of each other. In the last few days, I've had some really awesome conversations with local theater artists of how we're going to get through this and how we're going to come out on top after all of this is said and done. And I'm feeling really hopeful, and I'm feeling very positive in such a hard time. And I wanted to give a couple announcements of different things that you could be immersing yourself in the theater if you're really missing it. That may not be House Party 574 or any other streaming episodes like this that you might be finding. This Friday on YouTube, on the channel The Show Must Go On, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera will be streaming live. It's the production with Raymond Karamloo and Sierra Bogus. Gorgeous production. I'm not a huge fan of Phantom of the Opera, and I know I'll get some hate mail for that, but this is a gorgeous production, and you won't want to miss that. And it's Friday evening on the YouTube channel, The Show Must Go On. Feel free to check that out. Also, right now on playbill.com, for $7 only, which is so cheap, you can stream the Broadway production of Bandstand, which is a gorgeous production post-World War II, dealing with veterans and post-traumatic stress disorder, and the music is just gorgeous. I was fortunate enough to see it on Broadway with the original production. I sat 5th row on the main floor, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So if you're looking for some theater to watch, go to playbill.com, pay the $7, and watch Bandstand the musical. There's a lot of things happening. Stars in the House with Seth Rudetsky for the Actors Funds happens every day, twice a day. There's some really awesome episodes coming up, so check that out. And as well, 574 is doing our best to provide some programming and some entertainment for you. Our next episode of House Party is this upcoming Thursday at 8 p.m. with our own Zach Gillis. Zach's been on stage with us before in Godspell, 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. He's been in our cabarets, and he's also a board member and a huge supporter of 574 Theater. Very excited to have Zach on Thursday night. And we have guests coming on the next week as well. We're getting a new lineup of guests that we'll be announcing really soon. So I'm really excited for what's coming up. Also, May 8th, we're kicking off our Plays at Home series, which is a virtual new play festival. We just announced the first play that will be getting a reading. It's a play called God of My Own World by Wesley Lance. And Wesley is a 574 Theater alum, South Bend native, and this play is just gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen. It had its original production at Bethel University last winter in 2019. Wesley's made some edits and some changes, and he's really excited to get it read by some of our actors. We have a really solid group of actors for this one, too. So I'm really excited for it. Mark your calendars now for that. It's going to be a good time. Let's see. Do I have any other announcements? Oh, yes. This is really exciting, and I'm so excited by this. This is now our 5th episode. We have fundraised in total near $400 in our 4 episodes of House Party, and I can't tell you how tremendous that is. The support we've been getting for this project is so awesome, and every little bit counts. I can't say that enough, that even if you give $1, $5, $10, $1 million, whatever you want to give, it helps, especially in a time like this. 574 Theater is a nonprofit theater company, and we really, really depend on the support of generous patrons like yourself. So please consider donating tonight as you watch our episode. You can click on the Donate Now button on Facebook, or you can go to 574theater.com/support, which is running at the bottom of the screen. We're really appreciative for everybody who's donated so far, and we can't thank you enough for that. We hope to keep on fundraising money each episode we do, and eventually, get over $1,000. That's really our goal. So please help us reach that goal. Now, very excited, I'm saying very excited a lot tonight, apparently. I should have warmed up intellectually as well as vocally. Our guest this evening is a really great friend of mine. We have a funny relationship where we like to give each other crap a lot, basically. We like to give each other a hard time, but I at least respect Nick. See, it's already started, and he can't be here to defend himself. He's a great performer. He's been a great asset to 574 Theater. He joined us last season in Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, was with us for every show in 2019, and is joining us again this summer. I'm very thrilled to welcome my good friend, Nick Rogers, aka Beetlejuice. Nick!
Are you excited to welcome me? Are you?
I am excited. Nick said to me,
ready to fight.
Nick said pre-show, you've already invited me on the show. You can't take it back. And I tried. I tried to take it back, but it was too late. He was right. Nick, how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, living the dream.
About what I got.
Yeah, same here. And I feel like Tuesdays are always my hardest day of the week. You know, like Mondays, Mondays are always bad. But then Tuesday is just a special kind of bad, and I'm feeling it today. So, Nick, where are you in the world right now?
I'm in my house. I'm currently literally sitting on my bedroom floor, trying not to disturb my roommates too much because I don't want them to yell at me.
Yeah, and where is your house at? That's in South Bend, yeah?
Technically South Bend, but literally
you live
10 steps and I'm in Mishawaka.
Yeah, just like straddle the road and then you're in both.
I'm just like, hello, Mishawaka, goodbye.
Great. So I'm glad you're safe, and you've been working quite a bit, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
And where do you work?
I work at good old Brett. Oh, can't say that. There's a swear word. I can't call it its usual name. Panera. Good old Panera.
And it's crazy that like Panera is essential.
Repping them right now.
There it is. I wonder if we can get sponsorship for that.
No.
It's like Subway, eat fresh. Panera, eat bread. It's crazy how Panera and places like it have become technically essential. Like we all knew Panera was essential beforehand because like their bagels and broccoli cheddar soup are just so good. It's essential, but you're doing important work.
Keeping those nurses and doctors fed, keeping the first responders going, keeping the occasional Karen pleased. But I digress.
Do you see a lot of healthcare workers and stuff coming in right now or going through the drive-thru and getting food?
They're the awkward people in the morning who have been like awake all night. And so we're serving breakfast and they'll come through. Yes, I'm going to order off of your lunch menu that you don't have anything for right now. But please.
And you're
please.
Like,
I'm just like,
yes, anything for you.
I mean, I can't say no.
Yeah.
I can't say no. That's not my song. Thank you.
I told my grandma before we started today that Nick and I are probably like equally amount theater nerd. Like out of anyone else I know, I feel like you are my theater nerd. And I said it's going to get very theater nerdy tonight. So if you're out there watching, be prepared for that. So Nick,
I'm so excited.
You are constantly busy. You're one of the few people I know who constantly has something working on, which means, unfortunately, some things have been canceled. So, what's been canceled for you so far?
So far, 574 stuff has been pushed back. We were supposed to be in rehearsals starting tomorrow, but that got pushed off. Not canceled though, thankfully. That's the one job I can keep. I was supposed to go up to Detroit and do Hedwig and the Angry Inch for 3 weeks. That got canceled. Was really looking forward to that. It would be the first time I've done it that I would be getting paid. I usually get the rights. A couple of workshops I was supposed to do in the time when Sound of Music was meant to be finishing rehearsals and starting their run. There were 2 workshops I was supposed to do in Chicago. Those got canceled. Was there anything else? I can't think of anything else. That might be it. So I'm probably wrong.
Basically quite a bit, unfortunately.
My whole next year of money changed.
Yeah, I bet. I think, like, for me personally, I have 574 stuff this summer.
Yeah.
And a lot of my next heavy chunk of gigs and contracts don't start till September. So thankfully, I'm in a decent spot right now.
Preach this.
And I don't want to jinx it, but I have some good contracts coming up, especially in 2021, that revolve around the school year. So hopefully those are safe, and hopefully everything is good to go by then. But yeah, it's it's hurting everybody, and I definitely feel for you. So tell us briefly about you. I tell our guest a brief summary, like an online dating profile.
I'm bad at filling those out. You're asking the wrong person for a dating profile. There is a reason I am single. Your boy grew up in Battle Creek, moved to Kalamazoo, spent some time in Chicago. Back to Battle Creek, moved to Kalamazoo. I'm doing math 4 years ago. I told you I'm really bad at these. They take a lot of work. There's like days of drafting.
So basically, you've gone back and forth from Michigan, Chicago, back to Michigan, and then when did you move here to Southern Mishawaka?
It was a year ago, last month on like the 19th. Yeah. I think was like the official, hey, in case people weren't aware, I don't live in Michigan anymore. Because I told my roommate, who I was living with up there, my mom, most of my family, and then like my Kalamazoo friends. And that was about it. Like the people who, like the theater, Kalamazoo Civic knew like the people there because I saw them all the time because I was working with them. But yeah, it was not a spur of the moment thing, but I had like 3 weeks, I think it was, to move.
Yeah, and so Nick moved to Mishawaka because of 574.
Yeah.
He was with us all summer last year. Yeah. So yeah, I think auditions were like end of February-ish, and then we were starting rehearsals for Gentleman's Guide just a few weeks after that. So yeah, you were down here pretty quick.
Yeah, I remember the audition overlapped with when I had to leave was maybe 15 minutes after I finished doing a play reading festival up in Kalamazoo. Had like 10 minutes to get home, grab my bag, clothes, book, everything, and like get on a bus to come down here because your boy doesn't drive. Love that.
Give some.
It's hi Morgs. I miss your face.
Yeah. Christy says
hi Christy.
Josh says hi Nick.
Hello Josh.
Josh also says he doesn't like my shirt.
I feel like I'm making the better flannel choice.
I had to say that because normally people say they like your shirt, and I wanted to change things up.
We love a deep red.
So actually, I've put all of my winter stuff away, and I brought the summer.
Terrible decision. It was snowing today.
I know, and I only had like 2 flannels in my closet now. I wore the other one on Sunday when I interviewed John, and then today with this. So, Josh, I still probably look better than you. Alas. So enough the hate, enough of that. We're going to get into the singing right away.
Nothing but love. I'm going to sing.
So what are you going to sing for us first, friend?
This is a song Braden, Allison, and I wrote it together for an album we're working on together based on Greek mythology. The song is from the point of view. I'm trying to like think of words and I'm looking at my lyrics. I'm a mess. It's sung by Medusa in the context of actual mythology. I'm not exactly happy. It does end with her getting her head cut off. So, spoiler alert, if you didn't know the myth of Medusa, I guess.
You didn't pay attention in high school, that's the story.
It's like, I feel like that was covered. I don't know about you guys, but that was like a thing in one of my elementary art classes. It was like Greek art. And like we would watch like a video about some myth every time we had class.
That's intense. All right, so we're going to sing an original song for us. Is this the first time it's been done in public?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm not nervous at all.
I love world premieres on House Party. It always makes
this is two in a row?
Yeah.
2 episodes in a row?
Johnny's new song on Sunday, Debt, which was pretty funny. Still
debt.
Are you ready, friend?
Yes.
All right.
Riding the right track. You're on the right track.
Ladies and
You're welcome. Pippin reference.
Nick Rogers debuting one of his original songs. Here we go.
I'm going to reference my lyrics. Once I was a beauty. They said I had charm. Caught the eye of a beautiful man by the sea. He took me in his arms. It was new and exciting. It was fierce yet still pure. Some kind of a dream for a woman like me. It made my heart soar. He takes a step towards me. Then our lips are sealed. I think this is how a God must feel. But Athena was angry. It was she that I served. Made an oath to be pure and swear off all men I'd become perverse. Went to her temple, prayed she'd take me back. She waved her hand, turned my hair into poisonous snakes, a grotesque attack. She took a step towards me, and my fate was sealed. I wonder if gods can truly feel. Exit this cavern, run far away. Find an escape from this mess that I've made. This chapter, it doesn't bode well if you stay, so run. Stay and you'll just find a heart of stone. Stay and you'll be just a statue I own. Stay and I'll still be stuck here alone. So run, run, run. Don't come any closer. Don't look in my eyes. Don't run your hand through my hair. Put your hand on my waist. It's a waste of time. There were days that I wonder why Athena chose me. Changed my shape from a beautiful maiden into a hideous beast. You take a step towards me. You keep your eyes sealed. I think this is how God must feel. And then she gets her head cut off because it be like that sometimes, I guess.
Spoilers. Now we don't
ignore my lyric mess up.
I was laughing at you. So are you
literally had lyrics in front of me. Still messed them up because I have a lot of scribbles.
No, that's fair. That was like very like Jason Robert Brown-ish in terms of like story driven and like, even Sondheim-ish of like funky.
Oh, I love Braden so much for the music he writes. I literally
basically Braden, I feel like.
Just like send him lyrics and like the vaguest idea of what I kind of think it should sound like, and he comes back with that.
And if y'all, Braden was our Jack in Into the Woods last year, and he was also our Jesus.
He was our Jeezy boy. Pretty sure that's blasphemous, but I'm going to say it.
He's also going to be on House Party next Sunday. So if you liked that, I'm sure there will be more from Braden, who doesn't even have a Facebook, so I doubt
he doesn't. He's not watching this.
Well, we have it on YouTube too. It streams live on YouTube, so maybe he's not watching it there. Who knows?
I'll bug him about singing the song he wrote for Pan.
Okay.
Because also incredible.
All right. No, I'm excited to have Braden on next Sunday. It's gonna be great. All right, that was gorgeous, Nick. Thank you so much. Again, y'all, if you like what you hear and you want to donate, 574theater.com/support or hit that donate button on the Facebook live stream. Nick, let's talk about your theater journey. How did it get started? How did you start doing theater?
I did shows in like elementary school. Did like a lot of like very small like school things, which like started everything. I'll just go ahead and skip to when I knew I wanted to do it as like a career.
Yeah.
I seeing Laura Benanti in Into the Woods. That was in 2002. I was very young. Was just like, that is.
And what was she? Was she?
She was Cinderella. She broke her neck for that production.
Oh my gosh.
They wanted her to like throw herself down a flight of stairs. Eventually that got cut, but like she did it 8 times a week for a good amount of time.
Was that the revival?
Yeah, the 2002 with that was the one where they did the lyric changes to The Last Midnight and added in Our Little World. I saw her in that and it was just like, I don't hate this.
Yeah.
And then in high school, took a lot of theater classes and did show choir because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was how everything got started. High school got me really into it. Nerded out real quick. Became this lovely nerd you see before you.
The theater nerd.
Yes.
Obviously not a math nerd. I saw you trying to put together math earlier. Definitely not a math nerd.
That was not a great.
Hey,
let's just say I passed math.
Yeah.
I passed math.
Same. I'd much rather be a theater nerd.
A lot easier to remember.
You did a lot of high school stuff, and then you're seeing shows that inspired you. What were you doing post high school? What shows have you been doing in the professional world?
Post high school, was accepted to a bunch of programs. Started online classes at NYU. Dropped out. Hey kids, don't follow in my footsteps unless it's the right path for you. Dropped out. I did fresh out of high school, like got the summer and then did Hairspray, Rent, Spring Awakening, a really bad version of Hair where I did not get naked, thank you.
I've been like Hair. I want
pretty consistently just kind of like the first big show I got was probably I was cast as a swing in Bear my first time around, and then I did that show off and on for 2 years, like the same like general group of people with like a couple casting changes. I was an ensemble swing, an offstage swing. I didn't have a track in the show every night, but I covered all of the ensemble. Next time around, I was the understudy for Matt and Peter, and then eventually I just ended up being the full-time Peter.
Nice. That's how it goes.
And then Superstar, and then pretty much everyone knows the story from there.
You'll talk about that later, don't you?
I will talk about that later.
So you've been doing all the things, I think acting is one of the things that you don't have to go to college for, and I think the best thing to do if you're an actor is just go out and do it, and
yeah, 100%
by doing it. One of my favorite stories to tell is Laura Osnes, who we all know and love. And if you don't know and love her, she in high school was getting professional gigs in Minneapolis, and she was working. She was getting jobs, and came and she's like, well, I guess I should do that. She auditioned at a lot of like the big Midwest programs. She didn't get into a lot of them. Ball State, CCM, IU Bloomington. She didn't get into stuff. She got into University of Wisconsin Stevens Point, went there for a semester and got offered a professional gig back in Minneapolis. And she's like, peace. She left.
And that was the right path for her.
Yeah, and that was it. And then she was actually doing Grease at a dinner theater in Minneapolis. And she saw a casting call for the Grease reality show to be the next Sandy on Broadway.
Yeah.
And she got to take a weekend off, went and did it, got on the show, won, came to Broadway. And that was her story. You know, we're obviously not all as lucky as that, but that's definitely like, if you're an actor, just go out and do it. Like, I can't say that enough. Don't have student debt. I'm sure that's nice to not have student debt.
I'm also a firm believer you don't have to be on Broadway to be a successful actor in the theater world.
That's
like, there's so much stuff going on.
Okay, what I want to know really quick, I watch on my phone. I keep it on my phone so I can see donations.
I know you got the notification that I was watching.
It says Nick Rogers is watching. You're on the show. How are you watching?
My old phone that's connected to Wi-Fi that I'm playing audio off of, so I can see the comments.
What? All right, so, well, that's quite the journey, you know, and I definitely, there's some mad respect there of just getting out there and doing it and doing the thing and keep doing the thing, you know, and I hope once all of this is passed and said and done, you can keep doing the thing and keep getting your money. So, are you ready for our first game?
Sure. I'm bad at games.
Okay, first game, brand new game to House Party, Broadway Jeopardy. I've been watching Jeopardy a lot lately because I've been sitting at home doing nothing. I'm normally not home at 7 o'clock or 7:30 on a weeknight. So I've been watching Jeopardy. Last night I was doing pretty well. I was getting quite a few of the questions right. So I was like, you know, let's get some Broadway Jeopardy going. So I'll ask a question. You got to answer it the right way. Do you know how to answer a Jeopardy question?
What is
Gotta be in the
my life?
What is, no? All right, so I'll give you a question. It'll show up on the screen. Give it a second to think about it. If you're out there watching, shoot your answer in. Try to beat Nick to it if he doesn't know it. And you'll get a virtual high five, and it'll mean so much to you, you'll just be satisfied for the rest of the day.
You won't ever be satisfied. Nobody listens to Hamilton anymore.
All right, are you ready for the first question? Again, if you're out there watching, get the comments ready. Answer it in Jeopardy format. Who is, what is, how is, why is it? That's just kidding. Okay, here we go. You ready for the first question?
Yes.
This 1997 Broadway musical sank on stage 804 times for a 2-year run.
Low ball. This is like right down the middle. Oh, geez. What if it's not right down the middle?
Oh.
If it's not what I'm assuming it is, I'm going to, again, be very disappointed in myself.
Do we have any answers out there from the crowd? This 1997 Broadway musical sank on stage 804 times for a 2-year run. Gonna give it a couple more seconds, and then we're gonna let Nick answers, so we don't sit here all night.
Oh, we have a wicked delay, is what I just realized.
Do we?
I looked down at comments, and wow, that is quite the delay.
Well, do better, technology. All right, Nick, your answer?
If it's not Titanic, I'm gonna be very mad.
You got to answer it correctly.
What is Titanic?
Titanic the musical is the right answer. Congratulations.
Didn't that come out like the same year as the movie with Leo DiCaprio? I feel like that was a thing.
I feel like Titanic came out earlier. Let's ask Siri.
Which Titanic?
The movie. Hey Siri, what year did the movie Titanic come out?
Which one?
Which one?
Wait, there's more than one?
It did. That's crazy. I never knew that. Look at, see, this is what happens when you have an equal or more theater nerd on the show. You learn things. Yes, I love it. All right, next one. Are you ready?
Yes.
So there's people out there watching that can definitely answer some of these questions at Zoe Chirac.
Yeah, Zoe.
Calling you out.
What up with that?
Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
This American actor had some magic to do as the leading player in the original production of Pippin. Do you know it? Don't answer.
Yes.
Hope so. See if we get any answers out there. There's a gnat flying around. It's annoying. Do, 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 do. All right, Nick.
Who is Ben Vereen?
It was Ben Vereen. That is correct.
Who
Congratulations.
I know is Judas Iscariot, but
Yeah. He's been a lot of things. I loved him as leading player, but I loved Patina Miller more. Gotta admit.
Patino is so good. Those riffs.
Do you watch Madam Secretary at all?
I do not, but I know she's on it, and that's the reason I've considered watching it.
There are so many Broadway people on it, right? Like,
isn't Stephanie Block on there?
Every now and then. Her husband Sebastian is on there a lot.
I love them as a couple, and their daughter is adorable.
Phoebe Newirth is on there. I just forgot his name. He was in Jersey Boys the movie.
Oh,
Eric Bergen.
Just like you're asking the wrong boy to be good with names.
Yeah, he was. He's also in it. Anyways, great show. It's a great political show. I love it very much. Okay, next one. Here we go. This musical produced the most Tony Awards for a single show in Tony Award history in 2001.
Oh.
You know?
I do.
Go ahead, because nobody else seems to be playing.
I just got the notification that my friend Teresa was watching, and it's her favorite musical.
Oh, what is it?
It's The Producers.
Is that how you answer?
I mean, what is The Producers?
I feel like
it's not The Producers?
Really?
Okay. You were shaking your head, and I was just like, I know I'm not wrong about
shaking
this.
my head at you answering correctly or wrong. Come on. See, do you like the little hints I've put in there? Like, that's what Jeopardy does, except they're not like this musical produced the most. Get it? Get it?
And no one can get that many Tonys ever again. Can beat that number of Tonys. It's like the max number of Tonys you can get.
Hamilton was close.
Hamilton, I believe, had one less.
Yeah.
And it was because the lovely, beautiful, incredible, amazing, like, awe-inspiring Cynthia Erivo beat Philippa Sue. And I am totally okay with that.
Yep, same. All right, next one. Here.
Yes.
This was the age of a young Andrew Lloyd Webber when he wrote the first draft of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I'm going to get this one wrong.
This still blows my mind. I can't fathom it. What's your guess? And answer it correctly.
I know Superstar, he was like 21. So I'm going to say, what is like 19?
What is 17?
What the fuck? Sorry, I swore. I'm sorry. We'll go bleep that out in post. There is no post. This is live.
We're live!
Sorry, kids. If there are any small children watching, all out of you guys, I am so sorry.
We needed a bleep. If we were like really high tech and had a lot of money, we'd be able to like stop that before it went out.
Here I was pre-show, like being like, I'm gonna be a good noodle. I'm gonna practice not swearing now so that I don't accidentally do it on the show. And what do?
Well, our viewers haven't dropped, so that's good, I suppose. Whew. Okay. Here we go. Next question. This 2018 Broadway musical is based on a movie about some not-so-nice females. What do you got?
I will fight you.
Yeah? What's your answer?
What is Mean Girls the musical?
What is Mean Girls? Which I saw it on tour before all this happened, and it was wonderful.
It's so good.
It was very good. All right,
I saw it with the original cast. And it was...
Yeah, I didn't like the album very much, like just listening to the album. And then I saw the show. I was like, okay, I really like it. All right, here we go. Next question. You should get this one too. This 2016 Broadway production featured the first all-female creative team in Broadway history. You not know? Did I stump you?
I'm pretty sure what it is. I just don't remember what year this musical came out. Oh, wait. Yeah. Never mind.
What you got?
My brain first went to... Fun Home, but that's the first female writing team. What is Waitress?
It's Waitress. I accidentally...
Way to put it up early.
I'm sorry.
But I said the answer as it was popping up, so we're good.
I'm still thrown by the swearing that we encountered.
Also amazing. Waitress. Art.
Yes, that is one of my favorite shows I've seen on Broadway. I have seen it 4 times, 3
think I
times
saw
on
it.
Broadway and once on tour.
I saw it way back when Jessie was in it, and then I saw why am I blanking on my favorite elf? It was named Christine Dwyer.
Oh,
She was the second person to do it on tour right after Dizzy Oakley.
yeah. I think that's who I saw. That was in Chicago. All right. So you missed one. Not too bad. And we're going to take a
Wait,
couple.
which one did I miss? All right, the Andrew Lloyd Webber one, but I don't care because I don't like Andrew Lloyd Webber.
We're taking a couple points off for the swearing. So, that happens.
I got 0 because I said
the
a
worst
bad word.
one. All right. So, Nick, last year you joined the 574 Theater fam.
Yes.
Tell us what shows you were in and what roles you played.
What shows wasn't I in? Is the better question.
Fair.
I was in the entire season, from Gentleman's Guide to. I was drugged up that whole show because I had bronchitis. What was the Christmas one? It's a Wonderful Life. The one I didn't know the plot to before doing it.
Yeah. So you were in Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. You
Into
were
the Woods, Almost Maine,
Almost Maine.
Hello Dolly, Godspell, yes. And
Wonderful Life.
yeah.
What was your favorite role to play out in all of those shows?
Girl, you know I love an understudy track. I love an understudy track, but also the track Into the Woods because I got to be a baritone, I got to be a soprano, I got to just like stretch the muscles.
So Nick played Steward, and
I was the steward, and I was
Stepsister.
Florinda.
Yeah, I don't remember which one.
Yes.
You were the Stepsisters, which was wonderful. So tell me more. You were an understudy in Hello Dolly. Talk to us about that. What's that process like being an understudy in a swing, and how does that play into your mental state of performing?
Anyone who saw my book during Hello Dolly knew I had so many colored sticky notes in there. Literally just one for each character. I understudied all of the men who spoke. So Vandergelder, who says some of the weirdest stuff for no reason, I will say.
Yeah.
Vandergelder, Cornelius Barnaby, technically Rudolph, even though Cam Madison is a superstar, and I never had to do that one because I can't do accents. I went on as Barnaby, and that was a blast, flying by the seat of my ripped pants. But no, it takes a very particular skill set to have your own track in a show and then also keep track of everyone else at the same time.
Yeah.
Back when I was a swing, there were 2 productions going. There were 12 people in each ensemble of Bear, and I covered all of them, including the women, other than like the women who were featured. So I covered altogether, I think, 9 tracks per show, so 18. That script was always off stage. I had 3 copies. There was one stage right, stage left, and we had like a doorway up center. And there was a script right outside that. It's terrifying. Especially that first time you go on and you haven't had rehearsal.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, it's tough, and there's people on Broadway that literally make a living. There'll be a swing, and they'll swing multiple shows, like on the same street. So they could be like chilling at the theater for Come From Away as a swing, but then get called over across the street to swing in Jagged Little Pill, like if something happens. And that's
there was a guy a couple years ago who was a swing on Wicked, Phantom, what revival was it? I think it was the year Lindsay Mendez won, so Carousel. And then there was another show. He swung all 4 of them. I'm just like, that is terrifying, sir. Yeah. I never want to.
Yeah. I know
I totally want to, but I never want to.
I had a friend who was singing Hamilton in Chicago, and Wayne Brady was playing Burr, and something happened in the performance. He wasn't feeling well or something, and he walked off the stage after a scene, and then the swing came on, just like that. And nobody really honestly knew the difference until, like, people like the theater people knew, but then people didn't really pick it up until intermission or so when they made an announcement, which is crazy. So yeah, so you've done a lot with 574. In It's a Wonderful Life. Tell us about your role in It's a Wonderful Life, because that's a little unique also.
I was it's called a Foley artist. Is that the right word?
That is.
Again, I had bronchitis that whole time, and it was a blur. It was a lot of fun. It was very different. I'm used to having to act, where like having to do something to act like someone else, but like for that I sat at a table. I had all of my stuff. It had a character that we all talked about, like our relationships with each other. Like Sydney had, like, in the daily every single day was like a fact about each of the cast members, and then her and Leah, and it was a wild ride.
Yeah.
But no, I just got to sit behind everyone, listen to my amazing friends say these words and be these people. I covered for Ethan for the first couple of days.
Yeah. So Ethan,
until you were just like, this isn't serving anyone. Nick needs to focus on other things.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like literally the first week of rehearsal, other than like a 45-minute meeting, I was at a table reading for Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan was George Bailey, and he wasn't there for like the first week of rehearsal because he was finishing up semester at school. So Nick was reading, and he was reading through, and I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I'm like, don't you know this story? He was like, no. I'm like, how don't you know It's a Wonderful Life?
The version I was made aware of, Ethan brought it up after his first rehearsal. It was just like, I didn't know this show before reading it the first night. It was either that like Fairly Odd Parents or like a kids show did a take on it. And I was just like, oh, right. This is just like that. And realistically, not the way it went, but
yeah.
Like literally reading that script for the first time, I remember I was on one side of the little U of people, and everyone else was on the other side, and I was just like, hello, I'm alone. And I'm like sitting over there like freaking out every time there's like when I'm just assuming other people know it, so I'm not gonna spoiler.
Everybody knows It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Like when what's his name came down to earth. I'm terrible with names. You're asking the wrong person.
When Clarence?
Clarence.
Oh, yeah.
His real name's Clarence. That's an 8 Mile reference. Like, came down to earth. I was just like, aw, I didn't expect him to actually come. Cool. And then it's like getting through the whole thing. I'm just like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be at the beginning.
Yeah, it gets pretty
It was
deep.
a wild ride, that first read.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of wild rides, what is your favorite musical, friend?
If you know me, you know. It's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It is the dream role. The only dream role I have that I can realistically play. Unless it's Sweeney Todd, and I can change some keys, which no one will let me.
Yeah.
I've asked.
So Hunchback, like the version that people have been doing lately, it's not Disney theater, but it's still Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz.
It's Disney.
Right, but it's not owned by Disney Theatricals. Yeah. So it did its first production in Germany. It kind of like
it was Germany, like the 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, and then they kind of reworked it, and now it's available for licensing for theater companies across the country.
And it's so good.
Yeah, and it's a big cast and a choir, and it's a great show. And you're going to sing something from it for us.
I am.
And
Let me find my audio really quick.
What song are you going to sing?
I'm going to sing the song everyone knows. It's not Gotta Help the Outcasts, even though, Esmeralda, I'm coming for you, even with this pasty white skin. I'm going to belt while sitting down.
Okay.
Because I don't want to stand up and I'm lazy and I don't want you to see my stained shorts because I spilled nail polish on them the other night.
That's fair.
Uh,
So you're going to sing which song?
I'm going to sing Out There.
Out There. Okay. Are you ready?
Someone yell at me if this audio is way too loud because I don't know how it's going to be.
All right. This is Nick Rogers singing Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
And I'm going to read lyrics. Safe behind these... Is it not playing? I guess I have to turn my sound on first.
That probably makes sense.
I'm a genius.
Okay, you good?
Yes, let me just rewind it a little bit. Trusty water. Don't at me if I crack. Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me. All my life I watch them as I hide up here alone, hungry for the histories they show me. All my life I memorize their faces, knowing them as they will never know me. All my life I wonder how it feels to pass a day not above them, but part of them. And out there living in the sun, give me one day out there. All I ask is one to hold forever. Out there, where they all live on, where what I'd give, what I'd dare, just to live one day out there. Out there among the millers and the weavers and their wives, through the wolves and gables I can see them. Every day they shout and scold and go about their lives, heedless of the gift it is to be them. If I were in their skin, I'd treasure every instant out there, strolling by the Seine. Taste a morning out there, like ordinary men who freely walk about there. Just one day and then I swear I'll be content with my share. Won't resent, won't despair, old and bent, I won't care. I'll have spent one day out there.
Yay! That's okay.
Typical Nick, cracking on the top note. Glad I didn't do my option up, which goes to a high C.
It was still great. You sounded great. That was Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Which is really cool. We love it. And... What was that?
It was the audio of the live stream.
You were watching
from where I left off, so I could go back on.
You're like, okay, now let's pause the whole thing so I can watch myself and see how we did.
Oh, never. I would critique myself in the middle of a performance. Always.
So, your first song you did an original. You're going to kind of do an arrangement of your own for your last song here in a little bit. So talk to me about your writing and talk to me about kind of your process and, what the kind of writing you do and where you find your inspiration, stuff like that.
I started writing in high school, probably my sophomore year. Like lyrics, and then I could like plunk out chords on a piano, but nothing nothing like the people I usually collaborate with can do, because I'm not good at piano. I can do guitar fine, but it's not everything can be a guitar ballad, Nick. But really, I don't know how to explain my process, because it's just kind of when something, I tend to get ideas and just kind of run with them. The idea for this one that me and Braden are writing together came from, there is a song by Ross Baum, who's an incredible composer, called Winter, that is, it's Demeter after Persephone has been kidnapped by Hades. And I was just like, has anyone done anything based around mythology other than like Hades Town and like those kinds of things, like actually in depth gone into the actual myths of like the myths most people know kind of, but don't actually know. Like the story of Medusa I used was I believe it's Hesiod's from Metamorphoses, where Medusa was originally like a human, and I edited a little bit because the actual subject matter is a little extra dark.
We love it.
Let's just say, content warning. She doesn't fall in love with Poseidon. Poseidon takes advantage. But like, she was a human who was like, trying to think of the word. She served Athena, like I said, the song mentions, and it was more or less just a moment to look at why do we blame women for things. Oops, vaguely political. Not gonna get on that. But no, an idea has to really speak to something I want to say. So I write a lot of queer characters because as a queer man, that is my reality. But no, there's like my first play I wrote, like actually finished, was the story of my very first relationship that did not end well. I'm not telling that story. But then like everything that I write has some kind of personal significance. Like I grew up being a Greek mythology nerd, so of course I write something about Greek mythology, because there are gods people don't know about. I'm not doing well at explaining my process at all, am I?
Do you do music or lyrics?
I'm very much, they kind of develop together.
Sure.
Like if I'm writing something alone, it's a lot of thinking about, okay, this is kind of where I want it to sit. I play guitar and that's what I compose on. This is the general area of a voice it's going to sit in. It has to have a voice on the guitar that's going to complement that. I don't have my guitar, otherwise I would demonstrate. Give you all a music lesson, I guess. But when I'm working with someone, it kind of just depends. Braden is great in that he's very much making this, because I came to him with the idea he wants it to be mine, but have some ownership over it, because obviously it's his music that he's writing.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on if I'm working alone, if I'm collaborating with someone. Like I wrote an album in high school that disappeared because it was not good music. Wrote an album with a friend, and like it was the polar opposite. I was purely worried about music. He wrote the lyrics, and that more or less has shifted now because I've lost a lot of practice with the instruments that I do know. I feel like I'm just rambling. You can stop me anytime now.
Fine. No, I mean, there's definitely a lot that goes into somebody's process, and I don't think people realize that, is that there's a lot of not just technicality and fundamentals that go into it, but a lot of personal stuff, if you will, that goes into the writing. So that's really interesting to hear about. And thank you for sharing that. I Are you ready for our next game?
Sure, as long as it's not that overture one.
It's not the overture game.
Good.
That
I'm glad you didn't try to sneak that into it.
And if you're an upcoming guest, I'll probably make Zach do that on Thursday.
Ow!
You know, right?
I kicked the thing my
I saw that.
laptop was sitting on that my phone is resting against. So y'all didn't see my painted shorts while I readjusted how I was sitting.
Our next game is Name That
All right, we talked.
Winner.
Stupid.
Everything I do on my camera is backwards, so it's really frustrating. Okay.
It's been throwing me off this whole time.
I will ask you a question. There will either be a person or a show to go along with the answer. Hold on. I lost an answer. Let me fix it really quick.
Well, what are you doing?
I know.
Alex?
I don't know what happened to it.
This is the point of the pre-show. This is me and Alex's whole friendship.
All right. Are you ready for it? Here's the first question.
Yeah, let's go.
Again, if you're out there watching, shoot in your guess to the comment section. We'll see how you do. We'll give each question. We'll give a few seconds so you can do that. Here we go. First question: winner of Best Leading Actor in a Musical in 2013 for Kinky Boots. And I was nice and gave you the show. I was thinking about just the year to really mess with.
I love him. I could have guessed it without the show. I love him. I love him so much.
Let's see if anybody else can get it. Winner.
I don't have the comments pulled up, so I can't.
Winner of Best Leading Actor in a Musical in 2013 for Kinky Boots. And if you're out there watching, don't Google Josh Mauer.
Googling is cheating, and I don't like it.
Yeah. All right.
Cheaters go to heck.
What's your answer, Nick?
It's Billy friggin' Porter.
It's Billy Porter. Oh my gosh, Billy Porter, who went ages without having a break, like a big break. You know, like he had smaller roles, supporting roles, and until really Kinky Boots is when he finally blew up and became the person we know today.
He left the acting biz.
Yeah.
For like a decade and a half, and then just like came back and had this show and was just like, girl, what?
And I'm very excited for him to play Fairy Godmother in the new production, movie. I know.
So many feelings.
Here we go. This actress has won 6 Tony Awards.
Aren't there 2?
No, just the one. As far as I
know.
Right,
no. Angela Lansbury had 5. Audra finally overtook her when she won for whatever it's called.
Lady Day.
Lady Day.
Audra. It is
Audra McDonald.
She has won a Tony Award in every category.
Every acting category.
For a female actress, she has won in every category, which is wild. She is the queen. All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Winner of Best Leading Actress in a Musical in 2004 for Wicked.
I'll tell you who it should have been.
Who do you think it should have been?
Kristen Chenoweth.
You think so?
Girl, I liked Adina Pre. Shredding her vocal. Sorry.
It is Idina Menzel. No, but Nick does not want anybody else to want. He doesn't want anyone else to play. So that's fair. All right, it gets a little tougher here. A little tougher. Let's see if you know this one. This is pretty tough. This actress won Best Performance by a Featured Actress in a Musical for The Drowsy Chaperone in 2000.
This is tough.
I don't know. We'll see. I hope you get it wrong because you're so confident. It'd just be funny. What's your answer? What do you got?
Beth Level.
Dang, he's good.
I love her. I want to sing that song.
Speaking of Bandstand, which I talked about earlier in the show, she's in that. She was in their production.
Oh, right. She is in Bandstand. She
plays
Laura's mom?
Yep. Mrs. Trojan. All right, next one. Here we go. This actor won Best Leading Actor in a Musical in 2016 for Hamilton.
It's like you're not even trying.
No, I thought about getting like real in depth, just like random. This actor won in 1957 for.
I would go Golden Age. I'm never gonna get any of them right. Yeah, that's your way to beat me.
Nice. What's your answer?
It is. Why did I just blank on his name? Leslie Odom Jr.
Leslie Odom Jr. is correct. Did you see the Hamilton reunion on John Krasinski's show?
No, but I have it saved to my watch later.
It's on John Krasinski has his new thing called Some Good News, and he had the entire original cast of Hamilton come back and sing the opener for a young girl who was supposed to see Hamilton for her birthday this month on Broadway, but obviously cannot. So John Krasinski brought the cast to her. It was amazing. You have to look it up.
Because he is John Krasinski. The world does not deserve you.
Here's the last one. Bette Midler won the Tony for Best Leading Actress in a Musical in 2017 for what show?
I have feelings. And nobody's going to like my feelings about this one.
What show?
I've done it 7 times. It's good old Hello Dolly, but Eva Noblezada was robbed.
Dolly. Who?
Eva. The Kim and the Miss Saigon revival. She's playing Eurydice right now. She was robbed. She was so good in Saigon.
She was, but Bette Midler was also pretty good. Except when I saw it on Broadway, I saw Bernadette Peters, which was also phenomenal. All right, what do we got here? All right, this is my favorite part of House Party. We're going to talk about Theater Gone Wrong stories, and Nick has 2 stories for us, and he's going to start with his Jesus Christ Superstar story. Nick, take it away.
Both of these stories have been alluded to, one of them early in this episode. So I was doing Jesus Christ Superstar. I was called in and as a last-minute replacement for, like a friend gave this director my contact info. I was just like, hey, he can sing it. I was just like, cool, I like money.
For the role of Judas. I don't know if you mentioned that.
For Judas.
Yes.
High belty, rocks, screamy God, and because that's how I sing, even though I cracked earlier. So everyone knows Heaven on Their Minds. First big song is a Judas solo. So imagine the bottom of this screen is the stage. Up here I am on a piece of scaffolding, lowering down. First public performance. The very first one, fresh out of tech, never had a problem. I learned that score in 2 days, teched that show in 3. It was a great time. Coming down, the one side just dropped a foot-ish. Enough to make me go, here's the scaffolding, here's Nick. Whoop.
Just like that. That noise.
No, there was a lot more me attempting to high belt while... Because, of course, it happens, the iconic note everybody's waiting to hear. Jesus! I get the G. Jesus! Me attempting to belt as I fall like 15, 20 feet through the air. The scaffolding lowered all the way to the ground so I could get off. I hit the ground. For some reason, the scaffolding was sharp. Why? I ask you why. Hit the side of the scaffolding, ripped my side open, fell 15, 20 feet, slammed into the ground. There's still about 3.5 minutes of this song left. I get up, bleeding, blood, so much. Hobble down center, and time for the last... We made it jazzy at the end. The last... Yes, it's all gone sour. Ensemble comes in with, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? I get very animated when I tell this story. I hobble off stage. You have about this is to my stage manager and general people who gathered to see if I was okay. I was just like, you have about 1.5 minutes to get me wrapped up and find me a shirt to put on. They were just like, no, Nick, you're going to the hospital. I'm just like, this is the first performance I'm finishing, please. Got wrapped up against much to my stage manager's distaste. Walked out. They couldn't find me a shirt, so I was in my blood-soaked shirt, wrapped in an ace bandage, hobbled out for what's his line? I want to say his next line is, it seems to me a strange thing, mystifying. Finish the show. After the show, went to the hospital 76 stitches later. I have a scar.
That's exciting.
It was terrifying.
That's awful.
Terrifying.
I can't believe you finished the show. That's even crazier.
I actually have a story that goes back to understudies, if you don't mind me taking a brief tangent, even though we're not that far over an hour. Me and Judas and me and Jesus shared an understudy. Understudy rehearsals, neither I nor Jesus was allowed to stand in. This understudy did both. So it gets to the Last Supper, and I'm just like, do you want me to go stand in? And the director's like, no, hold. Walks up there, tape down the center of the table that Judas and Jesus fight on top of. You have to go across that line every time you switch characters and switch your voice, which it's a high rock show. How do you switch your voice?
That's awful. That's a bad choice.
Like, it's a choice. It's not a good one.
I'm judging.
For especially like the most vocally demanding male roles, aside from like Valjean.
Yeah.
Like, get 2 understudies. 2. Not 1, 2. But the second Theater Gone Wrong story was just this past summer. My one performance as Monsieur Barnaby and Hello Dali. If you know the show, I'm very animated right now. I'm so gay. Don't look at me. If you know the show, you know there's like the ridiculously long hat shop scene with Cornelius, like basically everyone. Vandergelder makes his first entrance after me and Ethan, who was on the first episode, who played Cornelius. I think we get maybe 6 minutes into the scene, barely-ish, before Vandergelder walks in, and we had to run and hide behind these little staircases that were on the side of the platform. I took that blocking a little too literally, where it was just like sprint and dive. I did a full-on baseball, like, slide in the first base.
The first base.
Ripped. What? Wait, you don't slide into first base. I don't know sports.
Yeah, it's okay.
I did sports. I don't know sports. But no, got to the ground. All I hear is rip. And I'm just like, I really hope that's not, but I think it was. And then I look over. Good old Leah Jordan is over in the wing, and all I see is, oh my God, Nick just ripped his pants. And I'm just like, cool. Leah Jordan, the queen that she is, always has her overalls with her safety pins and just like takes them out one by one, slides them across the floor so I can try to get it pinned before I have to get out.
I don't think I ever heard this story.
I think that was the one show you didn't actually attend.
I mean, I was there at all the shows. I just never watch. It's too. I get too nervous.
Wait, you've never heard this story?
I don't think so.
It was the most. And poor Ethan didn't know what was going on, so he was just wondering where I was all the time. And I'm just like hiding behind the table with the hats, and Dolly's back there, like trying to like, guys, come up here and do this scene, please. And like Maggie, who was playing Irene, is like, oh, where? And then there's Grace, and everyone else knows except for Ethan. And I just wasn't saying things, so Ethan was filling time. I'm just like, the whale. Like 4 minutes past my cue. But yeah, that was, and of course it ends with a dance number. And I'm just like, cool.
Yeah, that's about right.
But yeah, those are my 2.
Yeah,
like big ones. There are other like teeny tiny stories that I could tell, but we don't got time for that. Save it for the memoirs.
Yeah, there you go. So moving into our next question, which, we've been asking all of our guests. You've watched all the episodes, so I'm sure you know what's coming. In the time of this great pause that we're all in, it's a great time to pause and reflect and think about why we do what we do. So what does theater mean to you, Nick? And yeah, what does it mean to you?
What doesn't theater mean?
I asked first.
As this answer always turns into me growing up as a queer kid. It started out as like an escape from not the most accepting surroundings. there's just something about getting to forget what's troubling you for however long the show is, and just getting to live someone else's life and tell a different story. And there's just no greater feeling than shedding light on a reality you don't necessarily experience. And like getting to forget sometimes the not super great world we live in and just escape, go to sometimes a happier place. Hello Dolly, it was definitely a happier place. Like, not all shows are like that, but like getting to escape, deal with someone else's problems, deal with someone else's baggage, a different character's, and then as an understudy or a swing, getting to explore multiple different people, sometimes even in the span of one night. There's just no greater feeling than shining a light on realities other people don't necessarily get to see.
Sure. Yeah. I love that. That's great.
I don't know if that made sense.
No, it did for sure. No, you're fine. That was.
I promise this is water.
All right. Well, our time is coming to an end, and we have time for one more song. So what is
glory? No.
What are you going to leave us with this evening, sir?
I just started recording an album of cover songs. This is a little mashup of, we talked about Jesus Christ Superstar. Could We Start Again, Please? And Imagine by the Beatles.
I love it. All right. This is Nick's arrangement of Jesus Christ Superstar and Imagine. Are you ready, Nick? All right.
I just have to flip my audio.
Make sure it's turned up this time. All right, Nick.
Don't look at me like that.
Again, if you like what you hear, consider donating to 574 Theater and our artists this summer. Nick, take it away.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm also going to reference lyrics for this one. Fun fact, I played guitar on this track. I've been living to see you, dying to see you, but it shouldn't be like this. This was unexpected. What do I do now? Could we start again, please? I've been very hopeful so far. Now, for the first time, I think we're going wrong. Hurry up and tell me this is just a dream. Oh, could we start again, please? Imagine all the people living life in peace. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. I think you've made your point now. You've even gone a bit too far to get the message home. Before it gets too frightening, We ought to call a halt. Oh, could we start again, please? I've been living to see you, dying to see you, but it shouldn't be like this. This was unexpected. What do I do now? Could we start again, please? Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. Could we start again, please?
Yay!
Hello.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things you've done, I think.
Oh, thanks.
That's a great mashup.
I do a lot.
Nick, thank you so much for being here today and chatting with us.
Thanks for having me.
And being a theater nerd along with me. For our audience viewers, hang out in the green room, okay? I'll be with you soon.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to say bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye. Thank you, Nick. Thank you again to Nick so much for being on with us today. It's been really, everybody who's been watching, it's been a joy to do this every other day or so, to come on House Party and spend some time with others. I've been having a blast connecting with our 574 Theater family in this way, and I look forward to continue doing it. This upcoming Thursday at 8 p.m. with Zach Gillis. Don't miss out. It's going to be a great evening with Zach. I want to thank Teddy Price for donating $25 tonight. That's really awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who has been here watching so far. Ethan just joined, so Ethan missed it. Again, be kind to one another. I encourage you to reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Reach out to them and say hi, see how they're doing, and check in on them. Take care of yourselves over the next couple of days. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you Thursday night. Bye, everybody.